The fluorescent lights of St. Jude's ER hummed with relentless urgency. Anya Sharma, registered nurse, moved through the controlled chaos, her focus unwavering as she quickly triaged a new patient. "Vitals on bed 3, Sharma!" Dr. Chen called, already rushing past. Anya nodded, a silent promise to every soul in her care. Moments later, a nervous PR assistant whispered at reception, checking in. "Ms. Smith." Anya glanced over, her breath catching. Beneath the wide-brimmed hat and oversized glasses, she recognized the unmistakable features of Blaire Monroe, the mega-influencer. Maintaining her professional mask, Anya calmly escorted the incognito celebrity to a private room, a subtle unease prickling her skin. This wasn't just another patient. "I need a saline drip, immediately." "My aura is completely off," Blaire Monroe declared, her voice sharp despite the hushed ER room. Anya, calm amidst the celebrity's bizarre demands, explained, "Miss Smith, our protocol requires a doctor's order." "You're stable. We'll get the doctor." Blaire cut her off, a phone subtly angled, recording. "Stable? After what you just did? This is incompetence." Anya's discomfort grew, but she held her professional ground. Then, with a gasp, Blaire clutched her chest, eyes rolling. A dramatic, theatrical collapse. Anya rushed forward, confusion warring with trained instinct. The next morning, Anya awoke to a barrage of frantic calls. Her phone screen blazed with a terrifying headline. "Nurse negligence! Celebrity Blaire Monroe accuses hospital of mistreatment." Blaire's heavily edited video played on loop, Anya's calm explanations twisted into callous indifference, her focused expression weaponized. The caption screamed, #incompetent nurse. Her name, her hospital slandered. The world watched, judged. Anya stared at the screen, utterly numb. The dawning horror, a cold dread settling in her gut. The HR office felt colder than a morgue. "Due to the viral scandal and severe reputational damage, Ms. Sharma, your employment is terminated, effective immediately." The HR representative's words were stiff, devoid of emotion. Anya's heart shattered. "But I did nothing wrong. I followed every protocol," she pleaded, tears stinging her eyes. Her desperate defense was met with a dismissive wave. As her ID badge was clipped from her uniform, Anya felt stripped bare, not just of her job, but of her very calling. What happens when your passion becomes your prison? Days later, Anya's apartment was a testament to her shattered world, dark and messy, mirroring the chaos within her. She sat on the floor, staring at the framed nursing diploma, its gold seal mocking her. Applying for new jobs was useless. Her name, linked to, quote, #incompetent nurse, was a scarlet letter online. The world had gone silent for her, leaving her trapped, invisible, a ghost in her own life. How could one lie steal everything? She wondered. The injustice of bitter taste. Sometimes, the smallest moments hide the biggest solutions. Weeks before the nightmare, life had been ordinary. Anya remembered a quiet cafe, the clatter of porcelain, and a man, Marcus Thorne, awkwardly spilling coffee. She'd instinctively rushed over, a natural reflex to help. "Oh, no worries at all," she'd said, grabbing napkins. He'd been profusely grateful, pressing a business card into her hand with a polite, appreciative smile. "Just in case," he'd murmured. Anya had tucked it away, a fleeting moment of kindness quickly forgotten. When all hope seems lost, one forgotten detail can change everything. Now, rummaging through a forgotten purse for spare change, her fingers brushed against something stiff, Marcus Thorne's card. Attorney at law. A flicker of defiance sparked in the suffocating darkness. Could one young nurse, stripped of her career and pride, possibly fight back against a celebrity influencer? She almost tossed it, but then, a voice in her head whispered of her oath, of integrity, of all the hard-working people like her. "This isn't just about me." Her trembling hand reached for the phone. Anya's hand trembled, clutching the forgotten business card. Taking a deep breath, she dialed. Marcus Thorne answered professionally. Hesitantly, Anya recounted the nightmare, the viral lie, her unjust firing. Marcus listened intently, his calm questions anchoring her stormy narrative. He didn't dismiss her. "I believe we should meet, Anya," he said, and a fragile seed of hope began to sprout. In his office, Marcus laid out the daunting path. "Suing a celebrity for libel is an uphill battle, Anya," he explained. Anya's spirit wavered. "Can we truly win?" she asked. Marcus met her gaze, conviction unwavering. "It won't be easy, but your truth is a powerful weapon. This isn't just about you, it's about justice." A spark reignited within Anya. Blaire Monroe reclined in her opulent penthouse, scrolling positive press. The Incompetent Nurse drama was old news. "Anything urgent, Chloe?" she asked her assistant. Chloe, stiff-faced, placed a thick, formal envelope on the desk. "A legal notice, Ms. Monroe. From a Marcus Thorne." Blaire tore it open. Her constructed calm shattered, replaced by a furious snarl. "She what? How do you prove a lie when the world believes a celebrity?" In Marcus's office, Anya meticulously reviewed patient logs and shift reports. Her finger traced the exact time of Blaire's admission, recalling every detail of that chaotic ER shift. Marcus listened, his questions precise, building their foundation. Every protocol followed. Every interaction with Blaire, Anya recounted with a renewed sense of purpose, determined to unearth the truth. Even allies can be afraid. Who will stand with her when it matters most? Anya walked the familiar halls of St. Jude's. In the cafeteria, Dr. Chen offered weary sympathy, but when Anya asked him to corroborate her story, his gaze darted nervously. "Anya, I believe you," he whispered, "but the hospital, my career." His reluctance, born of fear, felt like a fresh sting, leaving Anya isolated once more. The truth always leaves a trail. What dark secrets is the celebrity hiding? Marcus's team delved into Blaire Monroe's past. They unearthed less publicized incidents, public outbursts, false accusations against service staff. Anya's shock turned to cold recognition. This wasn't an isolated incident, it was Blaire's well-worn tactic. The evidence began to form a damning picture, strengthening their resolve. When apologies aren't enough, some battles must be fought in court. Marcus formally requested a retraction and settlement from Blaire's legal team. He presented their growing evidence, hoping to avoid a protracted public battle. But Blaire's lawyer, smug in their opulent office, dismissed him with a condescending wave. "Ms. Monroe has nothing to retract. Her public standing is unassailable." The arrogance was palpable. Marcus's quiet resolve hardened. There would be no easy way out. They would meet in court. The news broke like a dam, a torrent of headlines screaming, "Nurse sues star!" Anya watched, horrified, as her name, once a badge of honor, became a battleground across every screen. News anchors debated her motives, while social media comments scrolled relentlessly, greedy opportunists clashing with "stand up for nurses." The world was suddenly too loud, too close, and Anya felt like she was drowning in the digital storm. Then came Blaire Monroe's live stream, a masterclass in manipulation. Blaire, tears perfectly placed, spun a tale of cruel neglect and personal trauma. She cast Anya as a villain, a greedy opportunist, her voice trembling with fabricated sincerity. Anya watched, stomach churning, as the comments erupted with adoration for Blaire and fresh vitriol for the incompetent nurse. The celebrity's power was a weapon, and Anya was caught in its blast. Anya curled on her sofa, the TV's blue glow painting her tear-streaked face. Each of Blaire's saccharine lies, each hateful comment, felt like a physical blow. The injustice was suffocating. Was it even worth it? She thought. The question a whisper of surrender. The fight felt too big, the public too easily swayed. Giving up seemed the only way to silence the noise, to reclaim a sliver of peace. Her gaze fell on her discarded nursing pin, glinting faintly on the coffee table. It wasn't just metal, it was an oath, a promise. She remembered the faces of her patients, the quiet dignity of her colleagues. This wasn't just her fight anymore. It was for every healthcare worker, for the truth. A quiet strength solidified within her. She sat up, wiped her tears, reached for her phone, and called Marcus. The sterile air of Marcus Thorne's office felt different this time. Dr. Chen, Anya's former colleague, sat across from them, his face etched with a quiet resolve. "I saw Blaire Monroe's latest interview," he began, his voice firm. The lies, it was too much. Anya was nothing but professional. "I'll tell the court exactly what happened that night." Anya felt a wave of profound relief wash over her, a tear escaping as Marcus nodded, already strategizing. A true ally had emerged from the shadows. A week later, Marcus's excitement was palpable. "Anya, you won't believe this," he said, gesturing to a growing stack of files. "Your courage has inspired others. We've been contacted by several service workers, baristas, flight attendants, even a hotel concierge, all with similar stories of Blaire Monroe's public tantrums and false accusations. She has a pattern, Anya. This isn't just about you anymore." Anya's eyes widened. Her fight was becoming a movement. The courtroom loomed, a grand, intimidating arena. Anya sat with Marcus, reviewing their final strategy. He outlined the risks, the brutal cross-examination she would face. But Anya felt a new, quiet strength. "I'm ready, Marcus," she said, her voice steady. Ready to look her in the eye and tell the truth. For every person she's silenced, their hands met in a firm, resolute shake. The day of reckoning was finally here. The grand courtroom buzzed with a tense, expectant energy. Every seat in the public gallery was filled, cameras flashed, and the air thrummed with the weight of the moment. Anya sat beside Marcus, her heart a steady drum against her ribs, watching as the lawyers delivered their opening statements. Narratives so starkly different they felt like two separate realities. Then, a hush fell as Blaire Monroe swept in, a vision of carefully curated distress, her entrance as theatrical as any red carpet event. Anya, however, remained still, her quiet dignity a stark contrast to the celebrity's performance. Blaire Monroe took the witness stand, her voice soft and trembling, painting a picture of herself as a helpless victim of an unprofessional and demanding nurse. Her testimony was polished, tearful, a masterclass in performance. Anya felt a familiar wave of frustration, but Marcus remained impassive. When he began his cross-examination, his questions were calm, precise, not immediately challenging the emotion, but subtly probing the edges of her fabricated tale. Anya watched, a flicker of hope stirring, as Blaire's practiced facade began to show tiny, almost imperceptible cracks. The courtroom held its breath as Marcus presented the expert analysis. On a large screen, Blaire's viral video played, then paused. Marcus's voice cut through the silence, dissecting each frame, each audio dropout. Here, at 0:17 seconds, a cut. And here, where Ms. Monroe claims to be in distress, the audio shows a clear splice. The forensic evidence was undeniable. Blaire, watching her own deception exposed, visibly faltered, her carefully constructed victimhood crumbling. A gasp rippled through the gallery. The truth, a relentless force, was finally breaking through. Then, it was Anya's turn. She walked to the witness stand, her steps measured, her gaze unwavering. She didn't speak with anger, but with a quiet, profound honesty that filled the room. She recounted the events of that night, her dedication to patient care, the protocols she followed, the injustice she suffered. Her voice, clear and steady, resonated with the quiet strength of someone who had nothing left to lose but her integrity. Even Blaire Monroe, across the room, shifted uncomfortably, unable to escape the raw, undeniable truth in Anya's words. The courtroom held its breath. We, the jury, find in favor of the plaintiff, Anya Sharma, finding the defendant, Blaire Monroe, liable for defamation. A wave of relief washed over Anya, her knees weak as tears blurred her vision. Marcus gripped her arm, a proud, quiet smile gracing his lips. Across the room, Blaire Monroe's face twisted into an enraged snarl. The truth, finally, had echoed. Outside, a blinding sea of cameras awaited. Anya, with Marcus by her side, stepped forward, her voice clear and unwavering. "This was never about vengeance," she declared, "but about truth, dignity, and ensuring every hard-working person is treated with respect." Marcus gave a supportive nod. Bathed in flashes, Anya knew her quiet fight had just ignited something far bigger. Months later, Anya found a new rhythm in a warm community clinic. A genuine smile touched her lips as she tended to patients, the true heart of care restored. "You belong here, Anya," Dr. Chen said, visiting with a proud smile. Anya felt a deep, peaceful fulfillment, a quiet triumph in finding her purpose anew. Looking out at the city lights, Anya knew her fight had been for more than her name. It was for every silenced voice. She'd reclaimed her dignity, yes, but also sparked a fire, inspiring others to stand firm. A subtle smile, a profound sense of peace. Her unseen legacy had begun.